G'day, Finru here, how you doing? Welcome along to Homebrew Wednesday on Christmas Day. I'll just top up my half pint and we'll get into it. Just finished my brew day. Ooh. This is the XPA that I've been brewing, that I brewed last time. Put it there so you can see it. Very nice. Turned out really well. Really happy with it. I haven't been drinking much of it because it's been in the keg for a few weeks, but it's coming out beautiful and clear, as you can see. See that? Yeah, nice and clear. So it's only a single malt. This was an American Pale malt, and it's just an XPA. So it was just 5 grams of Moteri, 20 Moteri at 80 minutes, and it was my fresh hops, grown hops at 20 minutes. There was about 100 grams there. 20 grams of Moteri at 10, then 20 grams of Moteri at 5, and then 20 of Moteri at flame out. Ended up at 4.8%. So cheers. Very nice. Got a nice head there that's staying together. Beautiful. Very nice. Very happy with that. It's just a simple brew, and as I said to you before, I'm just doing it for my to use up my homegrown hops, and I altered the sulfate. Was it calcium sulfate, calcium chloride? So the sulfate to chloride ratio I altered a bit. I'll get to that in a second. So today's brew day was similar. Well, it's just a single malt, just a single 5 kg of American ale malt. So as far as the salts went, I've got this little beauty here that I bought. I bought that. So this is from Digitech, and I recommend it. And also my pH meter is also from Digitech. So the place that I shop at, which is called here in New Zealand called JCar, I don't know if it's Australian, it may be, but they sell a lot of sort of home hobbyist sort of tech gear, if you like. So I'll show you that in a minute. So this is a beautiful little set of scales. So it weighs up to 200 grams. So it's just a simple little device like that. You might have seen my short that I did. Just give you a quick. So there's the reading there, and then you can just tear it. Put the tare or whatever they call it, level it off. Use your little whatever it is you're going to put there. Put your hops in. Work really well. It's got a few different modes, but yeah, I'm just using it in grams, obviously. Comes with a little. I think it's 100 gram weight, so you can test it out and make sure you've got it set right. And it's also got some instructions that you need to read. Came with batteries. It was $100. It's exactly what I want for my brewing, so very happy with that. So what I did was I was able to sort of weigh out my calcium sulfate and my calcium chloride. So what I did for this 5 kg of grain, I used 7.69 grams of calcium sulfate, this gypsum, and I used 2.79 of calcium chloride. Now, I'm not being pedantic about it. So what I used was what I would normally use, like a teaspoon. So I put a teaspoon about what I would normally use, and I put that on the scales, and it came out at 7.69. Same with the calcium chloride. It's the kind of like clumps, chips, if you like, chips of calcium chloride, not powder. So I just used like a quarter and weighed that out. It was 2.79. So what happened when I mashed in? I mashed in with my strike temp was 75, and that gave me a mash temperature of 66, which was spot on. The mash pH, with the salts that I've added, gave me a very good pH reading of a 5.4. And now I like 5.2, 5.3, but I'm happy with it. 5.4 is more than fine. Let's not go here. What will I do next time? I might add a pinch more of calcium sulfate for a brew like this, right? Just a pinch more, just to give it, because this is, sort of gives it that bitter forward, perceived bitterness of the beer when you're using calcium sulfate, and just a little bit of calcium chloride just to round off the malt just a little bit. Okay, so it's all trial and error. Cheers. I'm really happy that I brewed today on Christmas Day, because we got our Christmas Day was all over and done by 11 o'clock. The hordes came over, had a wonderful time with the grandies and kids and friends came over too, which was wonderful. You're really good. Plenty to eat, plenty of white bait, plenty of salmon. Whee. Anyway, so then I went and had to lay down for about an hour, and I thought, you know what? I had everything out here ready to go. The water had been on for 2 days in the HLT, because I wanted to come out here a couple of days ago and brew, and I just couldn't get myself out here. So I thought, hey, I'm all up here. Got the grains are in the mash tun. I've got my the yeast has been saved from the last brew. It's ready to go. The HLT is ready to go. All I need to do is go out there and just do it. Went very well. Anyway, so where are we? So we got. So I hope you're with me in this. This is just adding a couple of salts, which are quite common in a brew. Calcium sulfate and calcium chloride. Okay, and that'll drop your pH a bit. As I say, my strike water was 75 and my mash temp. So strike water is the water that I get ready to put in with the grains to get it mashing. So that temperature of that water was 75, and then when I add it with the grains, it sends a mash of 66. Okay, 66 degrees Celsius, and the mash pH because of the salts that I added, calcium sulfate and calcium chloride, came down to 5.4. I know it can be difficult for some of you newbies to follow along, but just follow along and get out of it what you can. It'll all become clearer at the end of the song. So when I finished, I only did an hour mash, just to cut down on time, because I like to do normally an 80-minute mash. But anyway, at the end of the mash, it was 65, so I'd only lost 1 degree of temperature, which was awesome. I'd wrapped it up in some extra blankets and some foam that I found, and made a really good sort of package of it to keep the heat in. Then I did I mashed out with boiling water, about 9 kg of boiling water, and that brought the mash temperature up to 75, and that just stopped the whole process, which is what you want. And then I left it like that for 10 minutes, and then I did my Vorloff, which is settling the grain bed down. Been through this, settling the grain bed down, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube about Vorloff and settling the grain bed down when you're doing all grain mash. Here comes the big fella. He's trying to get through the shambles. So I started with 5 grams of Moteri hops at the 80 minutes at first wort. And then when I got about half full, he's going out now. Come on over here, mate. Come and say g'day to everyone. Come on. Come on, you haven't said g'day for a while. Come on. You can get through there. Oh, Dad, I can't. Yes, you can. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on. It's too hard, but yes, no, come on. Unbelievable. Oh, come up. Wait, come over here. Say g'day. Come on. Come on. Is that water down there? There's a bit of water on the floor, isn't there? That's from my, I sprung a leak with the hoses with it cooled down. He's not going to come up. It's because of the water on the floor. It doesn't feel right for him. Where was I? We'll just give him, what are you doing? You right? He's not going to come up. Sorry, guys. So 5 kg of Moteri, 5 grams of Moteri at 80 minutes for first wort. And when the pot was half full, I cranked the heat into it then to save time. And then at 20 minutes, I put 20 grams of Willamette hops in, along with a Werflock tablet and some yeast nutrient, just a couple of pinches, probably half a teaspoon. and also put the copper wet chiller in, just to sanitize that. So she's boiling away, and then at 10 minutes I put in 20 grams of Tahiri hops, because I had plenty of those there. At 5 minutes I put 10 grams of Tahiri hops and 10 grams of Willamette hops, and then at flame out I put 10 grams of Materi hops. And I'm just having a look at my notes here. I added 10 mil of lactic acid to 15 litres of water that I use for my sparging. Okay, so that brought the sparge water down, because my sparge water, the water they get out of the tap, so I heat it up to 75 degrees for my sparging, but I like to drop the pH of that down so that I don't draw any tannins and acidity and things like that out of the grain husk. So that brought, just with 10 mil of lactic acid into 15 mils of water, of sparge water, that was 5.5, a pH of 5.5, which is spot on. I hope you sort of follow all that. If you don't, then just leave some comments leave some questions in the comments, and we can go through it. So that was all there was. So what did I end up with? Well, I ended up with being about a litre short as far as my volume went, but for 5 kg of grain I've got 1052, which is beautiful. 1052. I just measured that. Get down here, 1052. Put in the yeast from the last brew, the slurry from the last brew. Put it in there, and it's not actually set at 22. It's up here. It's set at 19, but it's just a little bit warm. The 22 is fine. So it's set at 19, so that will be fine. So that's a simple brew. I did it in quite a good time today. I don't know what the time is, but it seemed to fly by pretty quickly. So I've got the mini scales here, so now I can measure out my salts and my hops a little much better. And also I've got my pH meter, because my other one, they don't actually seem to last that long. As careful as I am to look after the damn things, they seem to crap out, but still they are quite important. This one here is one from Digitech. It's very, very good. It's just you just use one solution to set it, and they give you a little screwdriver, which is here. Okay, and that just goes in there. You just pop it in the solution that they give you, and then you just adjust it to 7, and then you're ready to go. But if you haven't got one, and you're doing all grain, and you want to sort of, it's a handy little thing to have. This and the scales. I didn't buy them all in the same week. Just as I got to sort of afford them, I got them, so I'm happy that I've got those now. So I'm back up and running. That's it for me. Happy with this brew day. 1052, very good, and it's quite clear. I should have a wee taste of it, shouldn't I? Just to, Nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's going to taste totally different. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and coming along. And I wish you all the best for the new year. So let's keep on brewing and trucking along. Cheers. Take care. Oh, I've got some cleaning up to do tomorrow. Cheers.